What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of SpeedSim. I'm eHouse.
And I'm Andre.
So today we have I'm back from vacation. First SpeedSim in like 2 weeks.
Let's stop for a second and let people know where you've been.
I was in Australia, as I mentioned before I left, and it was super awesome. But that's neither here nor there. Airsoft is illegal there, so I didn't do any cool BB Wars things. I saw a shark while scuba diving. That was pretty awesome. Actually, while snorkeling. Never mind. Point is, we have a new episode of SpeedSim. Aren't you excited?
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. After 2.5 weeks off, I'm ready to get back to the grind. So...
The grind, because then we don't get paid.
yeah, the grind. Yeah. Anyways, So the subject we have today is actually one I came up with while brainstorming video ideas on vacation. And it is, how fast do you need to shoot in Airsoft? And I'm not talking about velocity. A lot of people think when you talk about fast shooting, you're talking about velocity. I'm talking about rate of fire.
Rate of fire. I was really obsessed for a long time about rate of fire. Not early on into my Airsoft days, but more or less like when I started really playing a lot. I was like, rate of fire is all you need. And now, not so much. I've exclusively run pistols. I only recently picked up the Crytek Chris Vector. Mm-hmm. So that only shoots like 20 BBs a second.
On full auto.
On full auto, obviously. So it's not like... I'm not really interested in the rate of fire anymore so much. I used to be heavily obsessed with it. I had 2 Polar Stars and a DSG, and I was obsessed with rate of fire.
Yeah, and then you had the tap trigger, so you could butterfly it for semi-auto.
And then, I don't know, it just kind of lost its luster, I guess.
Yeah, I have never really been that obsessed with rate of fire. On the other hand, though, for semi-auto, I'm obsessed with really good trigger response.
Yeah. Okay.
And I do try to get my guns so I can spam the trigger really quickly on semi-auto. But then again, I also run AEG, so I'm inherently mechanically limited there. Yep. And there was like 1 or 2 times where kind of early-ish, actually, I say early-ish, but I'd probably been playing for like 2 years, I did try to do some tech work and, do fast shooting guns, like high ROF builds, but then I just realized that I wasn't really looking for that and it didn't really suit my needs. So I don't know. So I think that both of us are kind of coming at this from where we've tried the high rate of fire thing. Yeah. We've tried different levels of it, but then realized we didn't really need as much as we thought.
No.
But then on the other side, we have a couple of teammates who do love having high rate of fire.
Yeah. I mean, Andy being one of them.
Yeah.
He throws a lot of Legos into his thing. He doesn't really care. They're big Legos. It's not like he does anything mechanically to the guns. He just kind of buys the Tokimori high rate of fire stuff and throws an 11-1 with like a huge dump rate and just goes ham on people.
And runs like 10 high caps.
So, I mean, it's a little bit different for him. But
I'll tell you what, if he wasn't running... And if he wasn't running 1 joule guns and always engaging him a good distance, I'd probably hate him.
Yep.
But he does run guns that shoot like 1 joule.
And he doesn't run. He just kind of walks lazily across the field.
He doesn't care. Half the time he's got a cigar and he's just like, fuck it.
Just randomly shooting things.
Let me put it this way. When Andy shows up, I basically just look at him. He looks at me. It's like, cigar time? Cigar time. And both of us just go lazy. It's great.
But that's most of the time when you play.
Fair. But we've got, so we do have some teammates who run high rate of fire, and we have talked about this subject with them. And then we also have, talked about, so let's actually start laying down some numbers here. So if you were to say what your ideal full auto rate of fire is, if you're going to be using full auto, what do you look for?
25.
25?
25 is really good because you can compete with most guns on the market because most of the Crytek shoot 25.
Yeah, yours shoots 25. You misspoke saying 20 earlier. We countered it 25.
It fluctuates depending on how well the battery's doing that day. That's pretty much all I look for is 25. Most people are kind of in the 35s, 40s, but those are the umbrella kind of numbers for AEGs. Those are not unheard of for Polar Stars because you can ramp those up to any number. Most Polar Stars that I usually see are usually 60, and I think that's way killer.
Yeah, and then I think Andy's guns run like 38.
Yeah, something
like that. Yeah, I think he runs 38 or something like that with, stupid heavy lipos. Like, he uses RC lipos. Yeah. That's why his guns are always in the shop.
Facts.
Love you, Andy. But then for me, if I'm talking about rate of fire, I only really use full auto on LMGs.
Right.
So funny enough, I think I've mentioned this on video before, or maybe Ian mentioned this in his support gun video. Ian might be making another Gun Gamers appearance in the future. Look forward to that. But we have, I look for like 15 to 20. Because for an LMG, my logic is I've got that box mag, and I'm trying to stretch that because that box mag is going to be, it takes a long time to reload that, and that's my suppression.
Also, it's a lot of ammo.
Yeah, and it is a lot of ammo. You running a high RPS LMG, that can get expensive. I mean, expensive is a relative term. Once you have a 7.5 Swiss rifle, hello, airsoft ammo doesn't seem so bad anymore. But you have the point where, yeah, you kind of do want to stretch that ammo for an LMG in some cases. So it really depends on what you're looking for. Because I think for like the Speed QB style especially, and for people who want the high rate of fire with like a shorter magazine, I think a lot of what those guys are looking for is the ability to flip into the fun switch during an emergency or during a heavy suppression moment.
I honestly think, and I could be talking out my ass on this one, but I honestly could think it's semi-only for Speed QB.
Yes, Speed QB is semi-only.
Yeah.
You're right.
It is
but like,
semi-only.
I know
Mid-caps only.
I know some outdoor Speedsoft players though. Like you see some videos from some outdoor places.
I mean, if it's like a regular day, that's fine. But like, I'm pretty sure the tournament.
Yeah, you're right. The tournament is semi-only.
Even some of the invitationals are also semi-only.
Yeah, you're correct. Those are semi and mid caps only. Yeah. I had to be reminded of what the rule set was.
I was like saying that for a second. I was like, I'm pretty sure those are semi-only.
Yeah. And a lot of milsim games are semi-only too. So that's another thing to bear in mind.
I think the only time you really see full autos on regular game days, and you kind of pick up.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'd say that's fair.
Yeah, but most people do play pickup games. I mean, there's a handful of people who do like milsim and then.
And nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And no one goes to the Speed QB Invitationals. Nothing else. You got practice, especially if you're trying to have it be a sport.
Yep.
So
and trying to practice with their team at some point. So.
Yeah. So all right. So then let's talk about. I think we've each laid out our numbers of what our logic might be for high rate of fire. Because I know Andy, the reason he likes high rate of fire is because it sounds scary and he's shooting from far away and he just wants to make it rain like he's at a strip club.
Great analogy.
Andre, you look for that certain mid-ish number, like 25, just because that is where you can lay some good suppression with a rifle. Mm-hmm. And then I actually look lower because I usually semi-auto only with rifles and I'm looking to stretch my ammo with an LMG.
I'm pretty content with my pistols the way they are because the cyclic rate are pretty fast on them, so I can get down on the trigger real quick.
Yeah.
That's
so
why,
if you were to estimate the rounds per second, you could put down on semi-auto. What would you say?
On a pistol or AEG?
Both. One of each.
Okay, one of each because they're different numbers. Because
they are different numbers. They're mechanically limited.
Yeah, they're mechanically limited. With an AEG, I could say I put easily down like 10.
Yeah, I think if I were to estimate,
like pushing it.
Yeah, 10 is really
like 10
high.
10 to 15.
Yeah, I would say for me, with the way I shoot generally, with my high kappa, it's not short stroked or anything. So with my high kappa, I can probably get maybe 5 to 10 rounds a second if I'm really pushing it. And with an AEG, because you are mechanically limited, I would say probably 5 to 10, pretty similar.
Unless you really do work on your AEGs and you put the Titan MOSFET or you put the BTC in there that has like the Polar Star type of stuff, you can get pretty good with it. But again, it is an AEG. You got to wait for those gears to turn over.
HPA is where you might be able to push into like 15 or over for semi-auto spamming, and especially if you use one of the butterfly triggers or something like that. But butterfly triggers are banned in a lot of places because, again, they're trying to control that rate of fire by making it semi-auto.
Exactly.
But how fast do you need to shoot semi-auto? Because I think even that depends.
It depends on how good you aim.
Yeah, I would say that. Because I think one of the biggest things that people forget is they think, I need to be able to shoot fast. I'd argue you don't necessarily need to be able to shoot fast. You need to be able to react quickly.
Or be accurate.
Yeah.
I've seen some kids shoot, and I don't understand where they're shooting. They're over my heads.
Yeah. My favorite is when someone is, on the low ready, and a target presents itself, and they start shooting immediately as they're bringing the gun up, but none of their rounds are hitting, and they're not even bothering to aim. They're just shooting.
Yep.
Like, in my opinion, you need to have that kind of practice where you don't necessarily need to be able to spam the trigger quickly while you're walking to your target. There is some validity to that because this is Airsoft and you kind of see your rounds. But I would say that you're equally as well off if not better well off, learning to get on your sights quickly and engage that target quickly, because that's really the heart of the matter. That's what you need to do to make the hit, not just shooting.
Yep.
So
I agree with that.
I think reaction and aiming are, I don't think you should ever shoot faster than you can aim.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah, because I know some people, what I'll see a lot is, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine. I'm sorry if I offend anyone in the comment section. I hate when people break their grip and start spamming with their wrist to try to shoot faster.
Yeah.
Because the reason I don't like that and the reason I don't recommend that is because, number one,
bad habit.
You're not shooting, you're not going to be shooting faster, honestly. Your wrist is a much bigger muscle to move, and you're moving a lot more mass. If you practice with your index finger, you can still shoot just as fast. There's a reason
faster.
Yeah, there's a reason Jerry Miculek, the fastest shooter in the world, doesn't use this method.
Although he does make a parody of that video.
He does make a parody, but there's a reason he doesn't do that, because that's not as fast. You're moving a lot more, and you're going to wear yourself out. I mean, You ever heard of wanker's cramp? You'll get that real quick.
Whoa!
So, the other reason I don't recommend that method is because you're breaking your contact with your pistol grip, which is another point of contact with your weapon when you're aiming. So, weapon, airsoft gun. You get the point, yeah. So, again, I said you shouldn't shoot faster than you can aim. Well, you shouldn't also compromise your aim to shoot faster. I get that people say, oh, well, it's close up and it's just airsoft, but when I see people doing it with an AEG, AEGs have heavy triggers, you're going to be jostling that gun when you're trying to do that. And you're going to be moving your BBs all over the place.
Whereas, gun too.
Yeah. Well, you could potentially. There is potential there. I see people doing it with 3D printed Polar Star triggers, and to a certain extent, I do wonder how often they break those things.
Right. Because I see it all the time with the SRS series, because we fixed a ton of those trigger units, because they hit them so hard and they just collapse.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Yeah, that's another point.
Yeah, they collapse really easily because they're only little buttons. It's not like...
It is just a micro switch.
It's not like meant for industrial strength finger pulls on it.
Yeah, it's not meant for you to be putting 20 pounds of pressure on there with your entire fat arm.
It's not meant for that.
No.
Also, it's a bad habit when you go into real steel because you're going to lose the gun.
Yeah, that gun will run away from you real quick if you try doing that with a real weapon.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No, it's a bad habit.
So I don't know. So I've been talking for a long time. What do you have to say on this?
Really, you nailed all the points because I'm right there with you on the same boat. You just got to practice a little bit more. Honestly, just take like your pistol or even your rifle and just sit there while you're playing video games, watching Netflix or whatever you're doing, and just kind of just slowly but surely work on that trigger finger. You don't need to be going fast, depending on what you have, Polar Star, AEG, or pistol. Just sit there every, an hour or two, just kind of work on your trigger finger, see how fast you can go every day, and that's just the way you build yourself up, and do the same thing when you're playing the game.
And yeah, and that's the point, is you can go fast while still being accurate, but I guess maybe the central theme of this video is know what your needs are, know what you're looking for, and don't go faster than you can be accurate with on semi-auto.
Right. Pretty much it.
Guess that was it.
Cool.
Well, hope you enjoyed this video.
Hope it was helpful.
Yeah, you're going to enjoy the blooper reel, that's for sure.
For sure.
2.5 weeks of not hanging out at all, not filming together. We had a lot of bullshit pent up, so we hope you enjoy that.
If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Give us a like rating, and we thank you for watching.
Anyways, I've been E-House.
I'm Andre.
Peace.
See ya.
See you in the next one. Yeah. We're back. We returned. I'm still alive. All right.
Been a minute since you've been gone.
Yeah, been 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
By the way, hello. We haven't actually seen each other. Aw, I missed you.
Amazing. Just
I missed you. Not that much.
No,
yeah, nah.
You missed the shark more than me.
I do miss the shark more than you. The shark was pretty awesome. All right. Let's actually start this video, I guess. I just totally lost it. All right.
That's what I'm here for.
Fucking hate
derail this.
Fucking hate you. Not for any other reason, just for that.
That's good.
Anyways.
Oh God, no! Don't put that in there.
I'm putting that in there.
Oh Jesus! Too far. Oh shit! You're gonna give that kid some real fire to put mad out. That's Jesus Christ. Okay, continue.
Anyways. And the other...
I can't. Why would you say?
Why not?
I guess. Okay.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
Yep. Okay, we're good. I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. I understand it's airsoft, but don't do that with a real gun.
You never. Yeah, you should definitely never do anything like that with a real weapon. If you've ever done any real shooting, don't try it. It's not good.
It's not gonna work out. You're gonna end up shooting other people and not the target.
Yes, that's not what you want. A lot of liability. Then you gotta take him to the hospital, and you gotta listen to him cry the whole time. It's fucking annoying.
That's not the bleeding, but you just don't want to.
Yeah, like you're like, I was saving this emergency gauze for someone who matters.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Oh, the blooper reel of this video is gonna be great.
Awesome.
All right.